Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of season 2 of the Multi-Life podcast. Remember to go follow us at multilife.pod for all the updates. I've been trying to upload more reels, so if you want to see like snippets of what our podcasts are like without having to listen to the full thing, go ahead and follow us there. And now we're going to go around and say hello.
Howdy, everybody. It's Anthony. Good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon, whenever you're listening.
I don't know if I can match that. Good morning. It's Garrett, back at it again.
Hi, I'm Melissa Ann.
Hi, I'm Spencer.
Guys, so this morning I went and dropped my dog off at the groomers, and afterwards, Becca, my girlfriend, she was like, hey, let's go to the thrift store really quick and see what they have. And so we went, and right as we were going to check out, guess what they start playing over the radio?
What?
New Jeans.
Lisa's video.
Earthquake.
Oh,
They start playing
wow.
Earthquake. And I was so confused because normally it's either like very popular pop music or
Right.
like Mexican like mariachi music. Like that's the other thing that they have going on in there. But yeah, they just were playing
Wow.
Earthquake. I was like, okay, the cultural impact.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was looking through one of my relatives in Singapore's story, and she got to go to Jisoo's pop-up event that she was in Singapore. Like Jisoo like showed up and
Oh,
was
wow.
like saying hi to everybody, and my, I guess, not really aunt, but just like whatever. I don't even know how she's related to me. but,
Is it? Yeah.
like my mom's cousin kind of thing.
Right.
I
I call like my dad's like best friends my uncles.
Yeah. So my related aunt got to meet her and see her in person in Singapore, which was so cool.
Wow.
And I was gonna say, is your dog on a schedule to be groomed like every 2 weeks or something? 'Cause
Every
I feel like
6 weeks, yeah.
Every time we record on the podcast, I feel like.
It's every 6 weeks, yeah. Every 6
Wait,
weeks,
really?
Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't have the money for every 2 weeks to get him groomed. Like, he's treated well, but not that well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, y'all, as we head into our rating section, just as a reminder, we rate our songs K1 through K5, with K1 being dislikable and K5 being repeatable. And for the first song, I'm going to start with a K5. We're going to drop straight into the top with Hearts to Hearts, The Chase. Their debut song, I can't lie. Like on the first couple listens or whatever, I wasn't like a super huge fan. I will say that it was like good and it was fine, and I was, happy with it and whatever, but I was like, okay, this is supposed to be the follow-up, like this is what we're doing after Espa, like, okay. But I don't know, I've just kept listening to it, especially since the Studio Choom came out.
Yeah,
and
I
I
was gonna
started watching
mention
the Studio Choom choreography video. And it's just like the chorus is such an earworm. I think that like the transitions into, or rather after like the kind of drop into the beginning of the chorus, I like how that flows into the like after the first chorus, how it has that post-chorus where the instrumental kind of kicks up more. They have the background vocals where they're sustaining the notes a bit longer. The instrumental has like fully come in at this point. Like that is really impactful, and I really, really enjoy that part of the song. And then it's interesting how they chose to like have different kind of like different endings to the choruses in each time. Like it went from that kind of post-chorus where they just added to the instrumental, had the background vocals. Then in the second chorus they just went straight into the bridge. They didn't have any post-chorus after the second chorus. And then they have the sort of like not even really a reprise, but the last chorus with the kind of ad-libbed vocals in between the normal, vocal lines. I don't know. It was really interesting how they were, shifting those things around as they were changing. But the thing that I'm not really concerned about, but the thing that I've kind of been thinking about as I've been listening to this song and the other song on the single album is Butterflies, I think. I don't really know how to pin a sound for this group. Like, I don't know how I don't know how this sets a, tone to build off of. I don't know how this, I don't know what part of this song to look at and see as like a defining feature of the group, And I mean, maybe it'll become more clear as they release more music. I mean, obviously they'll find some sort of direction or some, identity as they'll continue, I'm sure, but this is definitely not the same impactful feeling that Black Mamba would evoke when listening to aespa's debut, or I'm thinking about like Dala Dala for ITZY, or like even though they diverted from this a little bit, like 11 Ive, like all these songs that or if we want to talk about like 5th gen debuts, even like Triple S Generation or Rising, if you want to consider the 24 member, it just feels like this song as a debut song, I don't know if it does everything that I expect a debut song to do. And again, I love the song. Like, it's been my obsession since it's come out, and I've been listening to it again and again, but I'm kind of left wondering if they've done enough to really make this their debut track, or if SM just was like, okay, it's time for a new group, this is a good song, we will give it to them.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think I have a lot of thoughts on this. I know it was written by Flo, which is like a R&B girl group, and I could definitely hear like that R&B influence in the song. But I wish they had, and I don't know whether this is like how they're trying to define it, because part of me is like, I wish they had fully leaned into R&B and just kind of shown off those powerful SM vocals and just made it really like R&B, right? But it seems like they added a little bit of more pop sparkle to it, so it's not quite as soulful. Sparkle.
Yeah, I was
no,
say
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's like, okay, it's not full R&B. It's a little bit pop R&B. So is that just going to be their brand? Just like take R&B and make it more pop, which is not like what you said, not like a bad thing. Like the song is good, but it's like, I don't know. I wish, we'll see if they like fully embrace that sound moving forward. It's just a debut. Yeah. And it's just, it was a single album. So not much to work with there. I would have to rate the song K4. At first I didn't like it because it was just way too chill. Part of me still wants the kind of spoken chorus and then a singing post-chorus, but they kind of just like repeated the spoken both times. I was like, I wanted to like really open up and like showcase their vocals, but they didn't really go there. One of the girls looked like Novice. I don't know.
Okay.
The girl with the short hair.
Oh, Jiu.
I don't know the members' names.
I only know Jiu because she's my favorite.
Okay. Doesn't she look like Novice a little bit?
A little bit. She's the one that stuck out to me the most for sure. Just like based off of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, a little bit. I see what you're talking about. The Bob does.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe this is like her reincarnation as a human, or I don't know. But I really liked her. I think like another aspect of it being hard to get into this group right now is that we don't know anything about the girls. And like at least with aespa, we knew Ning Ning from SM Rookies, so she was like had been shown off before with like the NCT members when they were kids too. And so people knew about Ning Ning and could be like excited for her debut. And then Karina was like kind of well known as like a little influencer kind of.
Just from like her beauty and
like from her Instagram. And then obviously like people found like Giselle's yearbook quotes and like she already had kind of like a persona coming in. So this is just like, and like this made me think of like the curse or not like the balance between like cleaning out any like history that could potentially be controversial before you debut versus like having a little bit of history that's like kind of funny or like kind of interesting and people can like really connect with you before you're shown to the public. I don't know. It's because especially like with these companies debuting idols like younger and younger, these kids have like no really like they are not allowed to have social media.
They've been training since they were like 4.
Yeah,
it's been,
exactly.
Like their entire it's like a machine. It's literally a machine that's just cranking out idols where like it's not the target isn't relatability, the target is the end product. Which is you need to sing the best, you need to dance the best, you need to be able to be molded into something that we can sell, which is, you know, which needs to be...
this sounds super negative.
you know.
Well, I think also, like, because I see this, like, saw this reel that was, like, kindergarten, like, 6th gen, or like, something like 8th gen kindergartners going to, apologize to their kindergarten bullies, or I don't know.
What?
Because, like, you know how all these, like, bullying allegations come out, or, like, whatever?
Yeah.
And then, like, anybody with like a slightly controversial past gets like slammed and like ripped apart. So now I think it's motivating for the companies to get kids young and like control their life
to mitigate the risk
so that you don't have like all this like, you know, possibly controversial social media posts that you have to like take down and apologize for, you know, like why not just mold them young so they don't do that? I don't know. That's like a whole other today's topic thing, but yeah. Anyways.
I rated it a K3. I mean, I liked it. I think the vocals kept me hooked for the most part. But I think the part that Anthony liked the best, like the little drop going into the chorus or post-chorus part, that was the part that I wasn't very fond of. At least I mean, I thought the instrumentals were great, like otherwise, but I don't know. I didn't think that like the drop was kind of fitting. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I liked how easily hooked in I got with like kind of the fast flow of the words that they were saying. But I mean, it was a nice chill song. I don't think anything particularly stood out to me though. It was a great debut.
For K3, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was good, but nothing stood out. What?
I think I'm pretty much like with Spencer here. Gonna have to end on a K3 as well. Nothing really stood out. And when I was watching the video, I was like, I don't know if I really got to listen to too much of the song because I was so tuned into like the video. We were watching the performance version, and at the end I was like, Spencer, they're dancing way too much. Like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And then he's like, well, it's a performance video. I was like, oh.
You're like, man, this MV sucks. They're just dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
They're like in their practice room, and then you're like, what is this MV?
But I mean, like the dancing was good, but I think the part that like annoyed me the most was the sparkle.
Oh, really?
Sparkle.
But it wasn't too bad compared to the other songs we're gonna talk about today. It wasn't. It was nothing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay. A little
okay.
foreshadowing, huh?
Interesting. I liked the part. I don't even know if it's a Korean word or it sounded like Japanese to me when they say tsukeki or something.
Oh, susukeki. It means like mystery or riddle.
It's Korean?
Mm-hmm. Susukeki.
Okay. I don't know. I like the way they use like their
susukeki
keki or something.
Yeah.
No, it's really satisfying to me.
They're both whatever the sangyuk.
Okay.
Susukeki.
Tsukeki.
Yeah, it's cute.
I like that part a lot.
I just know if I would have tried saying that, I probably would have butchered it. So.
Yeah.
But I guess moving on to someone that's messing with the world, Lisa.
Yeah, messing up is one way to phrase it. For sure.
Yeah, very lightly. I think I've talked about previously with Lisa, at least, how I like her, like, lower voice, or like she's not singing like at the top of her head, like trying to squeal her head off or whatever.
Oh man.
As idols often do.
Well, I mean, like, very, like, high pitched, I guess. I really enjoyed the song for Lisa, especially for like a title track. I guess it's the title track of Alter Ego. I mean, I enjoyed Rockstar, so this feels like another kind of like little piece to it. I thought the chorus was amazing. It's like super catchy, and I've seen it like everywhere on Instagram Reels. So I feel like people have been critical of like past releases for her, like Moonlit Floor or whatever, and I think that mostly just stems from people see like a lip synchronization of it rather than thinking it's like her actually singing. But I feel like this one's been like well received. I think my favorite part of the song though is the second verse, I'd say, where the instrumentals become like kind of muted or like somewhat disappeared in her rapping. And at least if you've watched the music video, this is the part where she's like at the auction and she's like upping herself. So I think that's like my favorite part. But yeah, I feel like I just love the return to normalcy. And I say that in air quotes because I just like I fell in love with her in Blackpink because of her rapping, and this just kind of, I love to hear it back after going through Moonlit Floor, Born Again. Those are more vocally type songs, which I mean I don't hate, but I like this a lot better. And then I guess if we just like as a little extra, in terms of like the album, I thought the album was really good. I think my favorites were Elastigirl, Chill, and Dream. So those are other ones you should listen to.
How would you rate it?
How would I rate it? Probably a K4. I don't know. Like, well, I mean, I personally don't say the F word, but hearing the F word come from her, I don't know. She makes it sound so soft and like not as like not as harsh sounding as like the FUC sound. Like just say like the sound. I don't know. I don't know. Does that make any sense? Do you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. I think I liked the flow and like rhyme scheme more in the second verse, like you were the same portion that you were talking about where you were talking about the instrumental. I think I liked her vocal delivery more in that portion of the song versus other portions of the song. The whole first verse I wasn't really like, the first time I was listening to it, I was going through, I was like it didn't I found it kind of more difficult to get into the rhyme scheme and like actually just kind of hop on to the flow of the song, you know what I mean? I feel like I was sitting there trying to get to a point where I could like maybe predict or expect the next thing is the wrong way to put it, but like you know when you're like listening to a song and you feel like you kind of know where it's going and you're I don't know, you feel like in sync with the kind of direction or message of the song or whatever. It's a very abstract way to kind of describe it, but like that's, you know, that kind of connection, you understand kind of what I'm trying to describe. It was difficult to establish listening to this song as I was going through it. Honestly, like the feeling I came out of it with was that it felt just kind of like a worse version of Woke Up by XG. Like, I feel like if I wanted to listen to this type of song, I would just rather listen to Woke Up each time. However, I very much enjoyed watching the music video. I thought that her acting, or like the character that she was playing, I thought she did a great job, and she obviously looks amazing. The music video I very much enjoyed, but I think just as a song, this isn't one that I'm going to be revisiting with, with a quickened pace.
It's funny that you mentioned this as a worse version of like XG, because I know people, when they saw her in like that short red hair, they compared her to
Judin.
from XG. So I thought that was kind of funny.
I would rate this song a K4 as well. I thought it was pretty good. I was pretty happy with her rapping parts. And I don't really have any complaints. I think I forgot which part, but it was like one where she kind of slows down her rapping, which I didn't too much enjoy. I'm kind of like the opposite of Anthony, where I enjoyed her first verse, and I kind of got into it. But I didn't care too much for like the very ending, but I really did enjoy it. I thought the music video, I'm not too big of a fan of animations being incorporated with like real life situations, but I thought it blended in pretty well, really well, compared to like KDA, I think, where like they're all animations. I like the animations better for this one than compared to like that. And if I had to choose which songs I liked from her album, I really liked Chill and Lifestyle the best. I thought those were really good.
Nice. Speaking of the music videos, what is up with Jenny and Lisa? Like Jenny, we talked about the bald dancing on the bald head, and then Lisa was like putting the pill into the person. I was like, oh, I can't. I'm sorry, I just can't.
You just don't appreciate art, true art.
I don't know. It just gives me. I don't know. That's why I could never be like a doctor or nurse, like medical field or whatever. I just can't with that kind of visual. So. I was like, that's so funny how they both. Anyways, the song, I would rate it a K3. Like, it started to grow on me. It's just kind of hard because, like, it's interesting how Spencer, you said like you like how she's back to being a rapper, but going back to like our previous episode, I feel like she really thrives as like a dancer and performer, not a rapper or singer. And I felt like this, I don't know what they're trying to push with her album. Like, it's just like she like, even this song, which is supposed to be like her big like culmination of this album coming out, this is like her title track, you don't see like a ton of like, you don't see like that K-pop dancing. It just seems like she's moving her body along with her rapping, and it didn't really focus on like how amazing of a performer she is. The one part that did stick out to me is when she like does like a big like clap in the beginning, and it's like super on beat, and like that was super satisfying. Like, I really liked that part. But yeah, I mean, this whole album has just been growing on me slowly, but I didn't have a good first impression. But I really liked Rapunzel is growing on me, Thunder is growing on me. Obviously, I already love New Woman. It was my top song of 2024. So that's a given. I don't know. I think if I had to, so at the time of this recording, all 4 of the girls' recent solo works have come out. So I think I would rate it like, oh, sorry, I think Lisa would come last. Yeah, I think I would rate it like Jisoo, Jenny, Rosé, Lisa.
I think that's a fair ranking.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, it was a good reading.
Yeah,
good
I didn't give my ranking earlier. I think I'd also rank this a K3.
Okay.
Yeah. It's alright.
Well, talking about Melissa Ann and Anthony being cold to Spencer, we're moving on to Cold by Young Posse. And, you know, I thought this song was really good for it being kind of slow. I actually really, really, really enjoyed this one. Like,
Yay!
I think I could see this one going on my top 10 list. Like, I
Wow.
definitely gave it a K5.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm surprised, Garrett.
Yeah, considering the rest of the album, which I didn't like at all. Why are we talking about Santa Claus in March?
Yeah.
And when I was watching the music video with Spencer, we turned off the comments, and I was
The
like,
closed
oh my
caption.
gosh. Or, yeah, sorry, the closed captions. And I was like, oh my gosh, what a K-drama that is happening. And then I was like, at the end, I was like, what is even happening, Spencer? Are they like brother or sister or something? He's like, I don't know. You have to turn on the closed captioning to understand what's happening. So I just need to rewatch it again. But if y'all can clarify it, that'd be great.
I
I
think they are
can.
brother and sister.
I can clarify. I read the explanation on Reddit. So the music at first I was like indifferent about the song. I would rate it like a K3, but then when I watched the music video and like read about the explanation of what the story is, it like shot up like strong K4 now. So basically the music video is shot out of order. Okay. So once you understand that, it makes more sense. And I'm not going to use I don't really remember the members' names really well, so I'll just use their description. So like the girl who has like the long dark hair, well, actually, it's the first scene starts when she has like her little jacket on, her little wavy updo. She's in that like bar scene where they're playing cards or whatever. And she's like, hey, I'm going to leave now. She gets her stuff and then she walks out and she sees her dad with his new family, which includes like a new wife and a girl who's blonde. And it flashes back to when she and her brother were kids and he like abandoned their family. And that's why she's like crying and like the older brother is trying to like hold her back. So basically we learned that like their dad has abandoned this family and left them and has started a new family. And she like doesn't know that, but like catches them. And so I'm probably not doing a good job explaining this, but they find she and her older brother like are like, okay, we're gonna target this girl that's like our dad's new stepdaughter, and then like lures her into like dating the older brother. That's why they're like taking photos together and like having a good time. And then there's like a part where she is crying. The girl, the blonde girl, is like crying, looking at her phone at like the comments going up, like in Chinese. And one of them says like deep fake. And so from there we can suspect that long dark hair and brother have created like a compromising like deep fake photo of blonde girl that's like really like just life altering. And so then she stands at the edge of the building because she's like so distressed about this deep fake photo of her being sent to the whole school. And dark hair girl is there to film her jump off this building. Okay. Jumps off. And then brother comes and they send that video to their dad as revenge for starting a new family.
I was like, who did they send that to?
They send it to their dad.
Oh my god.
Isn't that crazy? Go read the top. Just go to like Cold Young Posse and then like find the Reddit post for it and read like the top comment. I got chills and then like rewatch the video. Oh my gosh, it's like
It immediately elevated the song
yes,
by following the story.
because their acting is so good and yeah, I don't know. It was just like I kind of miss like the old K-pop music videos that had a storyline to them.
Yeah.
Even like Western music videos used to have like some type of storyline, even if it was kind of corny. But this was so well done, so well done. And it just gave me so many chills once I figured out the story. So yeah, solid K4. And the other song I liked on the album was Blue Dot. I thought that was a great song. That one's also K4 for me. I was definitely kind of surprised when I first watched this one because I'm used to Young Posse doing their like Mimi, Lil Uzi Vert style songs. But I like how they've just kind of, apparently like their releases were like a trilogy, and so now they're kind of like moving into a new era. So that's kind of explains why they sound a little bit different than before.
Yeah. I didn't go that far into the music video, but maybe maybe the clue should have been how many breaks in the music there were in the MV, because like there's a big chunk at the beginning and the end, and then there's a section in the middle even.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like put any thought into, building expectations or whatever going into the song, so I just kind of clicked on the music video and started listening. Was not expecting this like sound, but maybe I should have been expecting a difference when I saw the 10 Centi feature.
Yeah,
the 10 Centi feature. Like I should have known that it was going to be a bit of a softer song when I saw that he was on there. And then I thought it was fine. The track was good. I mean, I always am down for an acoustic instrumental, just a nice soft song. And yeah, I mean their voices were nice. It was good, soft listening. It was fine.
On the album, there's also a version of Cold that's just Young Posse. In case anybody wasn't a fan of the feature, you can listen to that one as well.
Mm-hmm. And I guess for like all the other viewers out there, and mainly me, can you tell me more about who 10 Centi is? Because I was like, who's this? Because I don't know, like when me and Girl were watching the music video, I was just like looking up who this guy was, and all I found was he was a songwriter. So
he's very, very famous in Korea.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he it was originally a two-member. It was originally a duo. 10 Centi. It was originally a duo, but then one of the members had to leave after public backlash after a drug use scandal. So classic. But yeah, he makes a lot of like OST stuff.
Very chill songs.
Yes, very much so. He has a lot of features, I think, just in general. I can't think of like other. Oh man, can I think of any 10 centimeter features? Oh, Beyond Love with Big Naughty. Yeah, well, there's one. So there you go. Stranger. He was on Hayes' last album. But yeah, so there's.
He's known
listening.
for the one I know him for is called What the Spring, and they play it a lot during springtime in Korea, I think. So I think that's one of the songs that usually like kind of climbs up the music charts during springtime. So that one, I would recommend that one, What the Spring.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I think my thoughts kind of combine Anthony's and Melissa Ann's. Like I definitely like compared to their, like Melissa Ann has said, like their Mimi kind of style, and at least like more rapping and more punchy style. I really liked the switch up in this this album. I don't think anything really stood out to me other than this one, but I just thought Blue Dot was an interesting one to me. So I think that was maybe the only other one, but it didn't like stand out, if that makes sense. So, but yeah.
Do you know if Blue Dot is referencing like pale blue dot, like Earth?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't look into the lyrics that much.
That's just where my mind immediately goes when I hear Blue Dot. Is that image from what was it? Was it from Voyager? As it was going past. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do y'all know the image I'm talking about?
I think so.
There's like I think it was from one of the Voyager missions, but there was a famous like spacecraft that as it was passing by Saturn, I think it was passing by one of the moons of Saturn, and it took a picture of Saturn, and then in the back you could see just a little, like among the stars or whatever, there's one that has like a faint blue hint to it, and it was like the first picture from from however far away that included the Earth. And so it's been a famous image of showing, Earth from the perspective of elsewhere in our solar system, and how small we can look there. Just our pale blue dot is what it's called.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of like Young Posse in general, I wasn't really a fan of them because like their macaroni cheese song
macaroni cheese
just like threw me off so much. But then
Such a great debut, though.
Then I got into this YouTuber / influencer called Shinigami Paul, and he's like a huge Young Posse fan, and just seeing his appreciation for them made me appreciate them more. So I would highly recommend checking out Paul's stuff. He always wins fan calls with them and is like super, you can tell he's just like, he gets like super shy, and it's so funny. And he went to their concert. He's like from Canada, went to LA for their concert and did like the whole VIP thing where he could like take pictures with each member. And he was like trying to film a TikTok with one of the members, and the manager wouldn't allow him. And then the member goes, "He's the YouTuber." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, they know who I am." They watch my videos. It's so cute to see him get like so excited. So I love like watching people like that. And
yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, he used to not be into K-pop at all. Like, Young Posse was his group that got him. He's Korean Canadian. He wasn't into K-pop, just liked like typical Western rap music. And then he was like, "Oh wait, Young Posse exists." And then now he's like into K-pop and other groups as well. But
can't think of a better reason.
Yeah, no, it's so endearing. It's so endearing. Shout out Shinigami Paul if you're watching this.
I like seeing like celebrities like fan out overseeing other celebrities. Like what's that one what's that one YouTube channel that has like the Korean idols, like for example the one where they're like texting each other behind,
Code?
like, yeah, those are really fun to see. Like the one where, what is it like Tsuki from Billy and with
Joy?
With Joy. Yeah, that's super cute. I always love the reactions. It's so cute.
One of them is Belle with, I think, Suho from EXO, and Belle used to be like EXO is why Belle got into K-pop and like was in Kiss of Life, and so she's like so shy and like just like screaming, and it's so cute. And then I liked one twist they did was they did 2 members of NCT Dream. So they are texting each other thinking like they're meeting like some other celebrity. And then they like look at each other. Well, I mean, one of them knows what's going on. The other one thinks he's like texting some, like super exciting random person. And then he like looks, it's like one of his band members. He's like, "Oh, man." That one
I
was
thought
a
I was
funny
seeing
one.
someone interesting.
Yeah.
Today. That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's a good channel. I recommend that
When
one.
is Young Posse's Texas tour?
Coming up. They're coming to College Station.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I'm like, why after I leave?
Right?
Like Brittany Broski came to college, or already came to College Station. Or I think she is coming, which is like Kombucha Girl, super funny girl. Yeah. And then Young Posse. I'm like, literally, Anyways.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, they're coming to all of our independent locations.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's
interesting.
true. I didn't think about it that way.
We wouldn't even be able to go, Garrett, because that's the day that you leave for your interview.
Oh man,
Bruh. Cancel it.
Well, I mean, I might not go, and then I'll just go see Young Posse by myself.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm really curious how their reception would be at A&M. Like, I want to know the crowd demographics. I know, like, a lot of the K-pop fans will go, and then, like, I wonder how many, like, curious people will go and whether they'll like it or not. But I feel like Young Posse will do a good job of hyping up the crowd. So,
is there a decent, like, Asian student population at A&M? I assume so, because it's such a big school.
I think, like, the size of it makes it, I don't know. It's definitely, like, smaller than UT.
I'd imagine so.
Like, proportionately, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's a very small bubble. So
Gotcha.
that's why it's not, like... I tried to get, like, one time Eric Nam from Dive Studios, or maybe his brother was, like, asking for schools to do tours at.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, A&M. I like commented like A&M, but they chose like schools with a way higher Asian population.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like UC
like
Berkeley.
the UC schools.
Yeah, and like other ones on the coast. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we don't have a lot of Asians at A&M,
Yeehaw.
and like everybody knows each other somehow. It's kind
Right.
of weird. Like you would think like such a big school, but like the Asian bubble is like very small. So, okay. Anyways, we're going to go to today's topic, which I helped choose for us, fantasy K-pop companies. You've heard of fantasy football. We're going to talk about fantasy K-pop companies.
Who's getting picked first? Who's our first draft?
Prize Picks, is that fantasy?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Or next.
Yeah. So, some questions that I had were like, how would you run... Oh, actually, I have to give Spencer credit because he came up with the first question a long time ago. How would you run a K-pop company if you had unlimited money? Would you do like a merger, an acquisition, start up from scratch?
I would just... Okay, if I had unlimited money,
Yeah.
I would be poaching idols. I would be like, okay... I'd go find the idols that are always like talking shit about their company, that are always being like, man, blah, blah, yeah, just always talking. Like, I'd go find all the Luna members. I'd go back in time. I'd go get all the Luna members. Yeah, and I wouldn't need to be investing in any training. I wouldn't need to be paying for any, dorming or anything of anyone who's not actively out making me money. So that's pretty excellent. I don't know. Like, I fail. We're getting like seasoned talent. This isn't anyone's first debut. This is people with existing I'm just exporting all the work out of the company, and then I can just take all the benefits from when they're already being mistreated. So I'm the good guy. And I see no downside to this.
Okay, I've had this concept in my head for so long, and like I don't know how it would play out, but hear me out. I would start a K-pop company that treats its trainees and idols like a NFL team or like a soccer team. Okay, so it's very focused on like how an athlete should be treated, because I feel like now K-pop companies treat their idols as a very like the goal is entertainment, which it is, but like what if the goal is like you mold them as like athletes? So like it's a very physical job, right? There's a lot of dancing, there's a lot of like going to different places to do all your schedules or your events. So like what if they just got like the best food, like the best like cold plunge, whatever, sauna therapy, like whatever, and then like the best like personal trainer so that they're like strong, because you hear all those stories of like girls or guys just like feeling unwell and fainting, getting sick, getting injured all the time. I'm like, why don't you just like train them with proper like physical therapy? I don't know. I just like thought of this, like I just had this image of like building up, like their path looks almost identical to like building up an all-star football team, and then their sport is like dancing and singing.
I'm also thinking about like the idea of like how contracts work in different like sports versus how contracts are in in the idol industry.
Yeah.
Of, like, for example, the Twice members are like pretty industry standard. I think for the big group debuts are like those 7-year contracts.
Yes.
Where there's really not much negotiating room. Because, I mean, you're already, at this point, you know, you've been training for however long, you're probably already indebted to the company. You're, you know, going to be working however many hours. Your schedule's, like, entirely determined by, you know, this, that, or the other thing. And then, but, yeah, you have a 7-year contract where that's your first job, like, ultimately, in the industry is, you know, debuting here, and then you're locked in for 7 years, as opposed to, like, for example, rookie contracts in the NFL or something like that, where you only give like a 3-year deal, and then after that is when you sign to a long-term extension or you become a free agent or whatever it is. So it's essentially the same idea as like a temp group, where like Kepler, for example, they sign a 2-year contract, and then after 2 years, they either, based on the success, the company can choose to, okay, we'll offer renewals, and then you have the negotiations that way. Or at the end of the 2 years, if it's not successful, they just disband, or you know, what have you. So like the contracts could work a little differently as well. I think that perhaps they tend to, you know, lock in for a little longer than I would imagine would be the case.
Yeah, 7 years is a long time. What about y'all?
All I
Spencer,
know is that my fantasy K-pop company, all that matters is the name.
Okay.
Because I feel like, I don't know, like when I think of a brand or a company, the thing that stands out to me is the name, and it has to have a good name. Like I love the new names that like Jenny and Lisa have named their like new labels, like Atelier, I guess, and then Loud, and then, you know, like the Black label is a pretty cool name, I think. So I don't know if my name sounds good to other people, but the name of my entertainment company is Valley Lake. For some.
Valley Lake Entertainment?
Yeah.
Ooh, it sounds very calming.
Well, yeah, I mean, because when I was thinking of it, like I'm in my own world, and I'm thinking, you know, well, if you've gone out in nature and you like go to like one of those lakes surrounded like by mountains, and you're just like, I don't know, in awe of the view.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, just like images you see online that you just like can't believe some of those like nature pics are real. So I would hope that my, I don't know, groups would invoke that feeling for people of like amazement or something. I don't know. Very cheesy. But
I was sitting there laughing because I was thinking about how you were like, okay, well, I would be, you know, the most important thing about my thing is the name. And I'm like, well, you know how a lot of like really like successful people who make their companies, they'll make it like their initials. Yeah. And so I was like, wait, your initials are just SM?
Yeah, I was like, my initials already taken.
They already took that one, buddy. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Bro, I was like, they made an SM too? You could just be SM too. Yeah.
Valley Lake sounds good in English, but it might sound a little like bellyache in Korean, because it would be
Yeah, maybe I'm not like very popular in Korea. I don't know. So.
Oh my god.
But I had like another K-pop company. This sounds super bad though. The K-pop name is called Scandalous, and basically we just give a second chance to people that like fell out of like K-pop because of their scandals.
I'm dead. That's actually fire though.
But like obviously it would be scandals that may be like considered minor internationally, rather than like
I was like,
all
we're out here
scandals.
getting like Sunni, we're getting like, oh my god, you're gonna like go, oh my god, yeah, no, never
Like I'm thinking more people that were like maybe fell out because of like a drug scandal or like for smoking or something.
Or what about
rather than,
what about
bullying, but not,
okay,
like-
yeah, so I
but
was
not
gonna
like
say
raping or
get,
anything like that.
so like you can get like karam, so you get like the seraphim karam. You can get
Sunghan,
oh my gosh.
Sunghan from Rise.
Sujin,
Oh,
G Idol.
yeah.
You know, yeah, you've got options, man.
So, I mean,
This
it
is
kinda
the one
Make them
pro
all
of
one
cancel
group.
culture. Yeah, exactly.
The next card, but it's like all scandal idols.
But like it'd be kind of similar to Anthony's like group, or like company. I don't have to invest in any training. They already have their they're known. They have some history.
Maybe just some rehab.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. It sounds really cool. I don't know if it might be bigger more internationally than like in Korea, but who knows? I don't know.
That's so funny.
Man, at least for me, I don't know. With the rise of AI, I would probably create like training models or whatever.
People don't even know it's fake.
Try to like,
Bro, it's like AI generated music with AI generated idols. So with AI we're gonna do nothing but like pay for algorithm manipulation to boost your like feeds.
But
this
I'm
is
gonna
the
be,
future
like,
is
pumping
now.
out music like crazy though.
Yeah,
Like,
you're thinking like an album a week.
Yeah.
You'll be always staying on the podcast where you're always in the news cycle.
Oh my god.
Did M count down
have
like
a-
debut stage and then like comeback stage every week?
I would need no training from models or anything, or like people, and then just hopefully make money off that. Really good ROI.
That's really funny.
Wow. Oh, wait, Spencer, you have to answer your own question about your
Oh,
name
yeah.
being said.
Oh yeah, I guess the entertainment name, but I guess like this could be like a little chime, or like, do you want the name of your company to be said? Like when I was talking about this question with Melissa Ann, I was like, do you want JYP to be said at the beginning and the end of every song or whatever?
JYP.
Like I guess for, I think I would have like a little sound or like a little chime, at the end of every title track. So it, like could be skipped, I guess, if you have like mixed crossfade on, like on Spotify or whatever. But like in general, if you didn't, then you would hear it.
I'm just imagining if you had something just like really not subtle at all, but you put it at like the very, very end, so it's like r/perfectly cut screens or whatever. That's all I'm imagining is like they finish like belting out like their final note or whatever, and they're all like hitting. It's like the Itzy like crown pose. They're all like sitting there or whatever, and at the end it's just Spencer. It just cuts off. Just immediately cuts off from there. God.
I can see that. I can see that happening at Valley Lake Entertainment.
God.
It's cool how like even though SM doesn't say their name outright, they have that little like signature sound. It's like I don't know if y'all have seen the videos, like every SM song that has that sound effect in it. It's pretty cool. It's like in almost every group song. That one sound effect.
Well, I like Le Seraphim's when they do like the little like riser sound effect, and then Le Seraphim.
Seraphim. Yeah, I'm just like that.
Yeah, something like that. Can you do it again?
Seraphim.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, sixth member. It's not Garam.
It's you,
It's Tony.
Tony.
I'm G Tony.
Oh, that's
me.
right. G20. Oh, man. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up now. Thank y'all for a great episode. I laughed a lot today. Remember to go follow us at multilife.pod on Instagram, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.